I opened the oven again. The cooking meat glistened. It smelled glorious. I took hold of my basting spoon and ladled the veggies and juice over the top of it. I think I got the temperature right, and the veggies were a nice touch. But how long do I cook it for? I frowned. I should have asked Ray earlier. He's a chef. He'd know how long to cook it for. I closed the oven and sighed. That would have defeated the purpose. This was, after all, Ray's surprise, and I hadn't wanted him to find out beforehand. Maybe I can look it up online. I nodded. That's what I'll do. I stirred the carrots that were boiling on the stove first. I didn't want them to burn. I sat down and pulled out my phone and started to find my answer. After a few minutes, I gave up. Nobody seemed to agree on a specific answer, and there was surprisingly little info on the web about this. Well, I just have to keep an eye on it and make sure I don't overcook it. A few minutes later, I stirred the carrots again. They looked to be done, so I turned off the burner. I opened the oven again. Ah, such a wonderful smell. It was browning nicely. I again took the ladle and scooped the juices over it. It won't be long now. I went out to the dining room to make sure that the table was all set. I put the plates on the table and placed down the candles. Soon, Ray, the guest of honor, would make his appearance. 20 minutes later, I pulled the meat out of the oven. It was done. I sat off to the side and threw together the rest of the meal. I brought it all out to the table and began finishing setting it up. I looked at the clock, smiled, and lit the candles. It was time for the guest of honor to show his face. I reached over and lifted the metal lid off the plate in the center of the table. Ray's head had been placed neatly in the middle. I took a knife and began cutting the meat. It was cooked to perfection. I was happy. There is surprisingly little info out there on how to cook a human. I filled my glass with wine and toasted Ray to his surprise dinner. I chuckled. He sure was surprised, all right, when my axe hit his back. I took a bite and smiled. The perfect evening.